Okay, so now I want to talk about pretty much what I called this whole series about was the duplicity of defense, and that's kind of like playing both the role of defender and reader of your own defense. So what I'm talking about there is that as a defender, you're putting up a defense. You're putting in good motions where you're kind of moving from a position to a position. You're not just wavering. I don't believe in this wavering kind of defense, waver kind of thing. I'm more from a position to a position, very positional. Any little bobble like that is to be a fake from movement to movement. That's on purpose. But so I'm very positional player. You know, always moving from a position to a position. Not really trying to. I'm not looking at the ball at all most of the time. Sometimes the shooter might have a kind of a tell as to how high they have the ball, if it's like right underneath the ball or really underneath it. But that's really rare. I don't think it's really worth really watching out for too much. So you kind of what I'm talking about is you're doing your defense. You're trying to be random. You're moving from a position to a position. But then as you're doing this, you got to kind of watch your own defense and then kind of think, well, if I was the shooter here, when I did this thing, I would probably go push. Because it's the push has been open for a while, so let's change that motion to be, instead of this, that. So that show the same motion as this, to think they should go push there, shoot push, no, it should be like the same thing. So you're watching your own defense, and you kind of think, well, if I was going to shoot on that, I would, shoot here. So then with that information, you can adjust your defense. But you don't want to adjust it outright and give an entirely different look. You still want to be able to show the shooter what he wants to see, and so that he'll fall for your bait. So say for example, if I was going to, every time I switched, I started to do that one a lot more, that he went middle. And then doing like one of these moving over here kind of thing, and then he went middle. So then I'm going to be looking for that kind of thing. If he's fast enough, you can kind of, when you're going to be doing that switch, when you feel yourself, okay, I'm going to switch, let's switch differently. Let's switch this way, let's switch, a different way. To not do that big middle again when you feel yourself, through the random motions, never giving up that middle again. And then you think, okay, now that I've not given up that middle, if he hasn't shot yet, maybe he's not going to go middle yet. Really test it. Okay, no, he's still not going middle. Okay, fine, where's he going now? Well, when I was doing that, I was watching my defense. I'd start to kind of probably start opening up that middle again, because he wasn't reacting to it. He's hopefully looked somewhere else. So now I'm kind of reading, trying to guess as that shooter, what's that shooter looking at? What's he thinking based on the defense I've been showing? So that's that kind of the duplicity. You're defending and you're trying to think like the shooter at the same time. At least that's what I do. Now I'm also a pretty big believer in doing the same kind of thing back here as I would on the 5-bar, with trying different defenses until you find something that works, or at least gives you a higher percentage of blocks. So you can have different defenses, like you can have really stationary defenses. And some shooters really don't like that. Some shooters, it makes them nervous. They don't really know when the guy's going to move. Some people don't like really fast-moving defenses. You gotta be careful with fast-moving defenses, because you can get yourself out of position sometimes. Like that's effectively useless, I guess, unless the guy really loves through three-quarter shots. So some people don't like shake defenses. They just really don't like it. You show them this, and they're like, "Oh, I got nothing to react to. I got nothing to react to. I just have to hit a really deep hole. Maybe they're having some problem today with one of their sides, so they get a little bit tentative." Shoot against just a shake defense. At least try it once or twice and see. Make them prove that they can, shoot on that. And the same thing, make them prove that they can shoot on, maybe a stuttery defense with a little jigs and jitters kind of thing. Some people don't like that. Some people don't like a lot of switching. They have a hard time reading switches. Just something like that. You can keep trying different defenses until you get a sense that maybe that make them feel a little bit more uncomfortable. Maybe they got you a few blocks, and kind of either stick with that defense until you win the game, or depending if you're within a long match and you kind of have to save an ace in the hole, you can save that defense for when you really need a big block. you may be able to show the same thing. I'm not saying give up a goal, but at least, you know, don't allow them to make the adjustment to you. If you have a defense that you found out that worked, that made them feel uncomfortable, or that made them shoot a certain way, the same way all the time, you know, keep that in your back pocket. Save it for when you need a big block, or when you really need that ball. It's like 4-3, or if it's 4-4 or 4-2 kind of thing. There's lots of really important points that can really make a big difference. So that's one kind of thing. And the same kind of concept applies here. If you do the shake defense, a lot of people will react the same way to it. A lot of people will shoot their favorite hole, or will shoot the same hole at least, against that defense. And then you can kind of make slight adjustments. I think this is what Lewis Cartwright does within his shake defense. He's kind of world renowned for doing a shake defense that a lot of really high caliber players really have trouble shooting on. I think he's either really good at timing the rock of the rollover, or he's really good at making very subtle adjustments to his shake. Either he starts to separate it out a little bit more, or he starts to favor one side more than the other. So if he starts off just right in the middle, then he might come over here a little bit more, covering the push side more. Might start leaving a little bit more middle, doing something like that. Might start covering the pull side more. You know, slight little adjustments, even though it might all look still like a big shake. There's slight little adjustments in there, or it might be just like just reading a tell and then just jumping into a hole kind of thing. What I like to do a lot, and I think I've been seen on Inside Foods to do this, is you show a snake defense. You show a shake defense. You get a sense for when the shooter's timing is on that defense. Then you think, hey, these last few times I did like this. After 4 seconds, he just shot pull. So, okay, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then like, you know, really like just dead stop. A lot of times people they see a shake, and then they see you stop. That really makes them hesitate. They really don't know what to do for a couple seconds. And then you kind of, you know, get back into some other defense or back into the shake. I've used that against Federico as well. A couple times that was quite successful. I'll stop talking for now on this one, and we'll go on to the next video, if you're still with me.